I'm Dr. Robert Davis, family life educator and relationship coach. And welcome to Unboxed, a frank and straightforward conversation about relationships. We're going to talk about family, church, workplace, and all other types of relationships. Join me for the next few moments as we unbox the power and potential of relationships and help you to live your best life.
Hello, everyone. I want to take this opportunity to welcome you to another episode of Unboxed, where we attempt to unbox the power and the potential of relationships. And when we say relationships, we're talking about family relationships. We're talking about church family relationships, workplace relationships, community and relationship with our neighbors, etc. We want to help you to live the most healthy and productive life in whatever form of relationship you may find yourself in. So I'm glad that you tuned in today. I have been encouraging each of you to please share with us your questions, and we're going to read them and answer them on the air. And that's what we're going to do here today. Before I answer your questions on the air today, I do want to tell you that one of the things that Season of Grace Unboxed does is we provide executive coaching. And as part of that executive coaching, we are connecting executive directors of nonprofits and community organizations together and establishing a peer support group. Matter of fact, I'm going to do something real quick. I'm going to let you look at a very quick promo that tells you a little bit more about our executive directors peer support group. Community leadership can be hard, lonely, and stressful. Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Davis. And if you're an executive director, you are not alone. Unboxed offers a dynamic peer support group where executive directors can share their hopes, questions, fears, and expertise in a safe, confidential space. For more information about our executive directors support group, email us or visit our Unboxed website. So if you or someone you know is an executive director and they would love to join with others so that they can reach their best potential in leading the organization, please direct them to our website or share with them our email address. We would love to reach out and to help and to form a community. I strongly believe that community organizations are the backbone of our society. So I just want to make sure that you have that information. Okay, we're going to get right into it today. I got another question from another mother. This is from Janelle. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. This is from Janelle from Georgia. And she asked, how do I communicate to my 20-year-old daughter that she shouldn't cut people off just because they don't agree with her, or she will end up very lonely? Also, how can I help her with her bad attitude? Well, that's an awful lot that you sent to us, Janelle. And we're going to try to unbox this as much as we can in just a moment. When we talk about cutoff, where we stop having a relationship with a person that we were in a relationship with because they don't agree with us, or because whatever the subject matter or whatever is going on in the relationship becomes so tense and so emotionally draining that we just say, you know what, I'm through with this person, I'm going to move on. I'm going to explain to you what that is, but first let me tell you why that's not a good idea, why it is a very poor idea just to cut off relationships with people simply because they disagree with you or being in a relationship with them is difficult. Now, I want to pause for a moment and make sure you know that I am not talking about physical or sexual abuse. I'm talking about just general jerks, people who have temperaments and mannerisms and ways of doing things that grate or get on our very last nerve. If you're in a relationship that is abusive, whether it's physical abuse, sexual abuse, or serious emotional abuse, then I want to encourage you to seek professional help, to get with a therapist in your area, and to do what you need to do to free yourself of that relationship. So what I'm talking about, again, is just relationships that are very challenging and very difficult. And so what we tend to do is to just say, you know what, I don't have time for this. Life is too short. I'm moving on. And that's kind of how we justify it. Here's the problem. If every time someone gets on our last nerves, we break away from the relationship, or every time the relationship is difficult, we just go ahead and cut off, then what's going to end up happening, and this is one of the things that you may want to share, Janelle, and I hope that you'll have your daughter to watch this video. But what happens is we end up losing the practice area that we would have. So we're trying to develop a skill set of knowing how to get along with people and knowing how to be the best person that we can be. And if every time that is tested, or in other words, people push us to the edge, then and we cut off when we just say, well, I'm done with you, then we're never going to learn to really manage and to be the best person that we can be in relationships that are difficult, which ultimately means we're not going to be the best person that we can be, period. So that's the reason why it's not a good idea, because you are depriving yourself of having the practice, of having the opportunity to build up the skill set of getting along and not getting so caught up with people emotionally. Because when you're cut off from an individual, that means that you are so emotionally connected. You are so emotionally, here's a word, you're so emotionally fused with the person that what they do ends up having a controlling effect over your emotions and over your reactions. And anyone who has followed Season with Grace Unboxed, you know that one of the main things our organization teaches is that you should never allow other people to control your emotions or to control your reactions. That's just not a good idea at all. You don't want to be at someone else's mercy. You don't want someone else walking into the room and having control over you. You constantly want to be in control of your own life. So one of the things that I encourage people to do, and Mom, I'm going to tell you this, typically lecturing and trying to convince someone is not the best approach to go. So if she's willing to watch this video, I think that would be very beneficial. But another thing that you can do is just model it. Show her in your interaction with her how not to become so infused with someone, so fused with someone that you end up allowing them to have control over how you respond emotionally. So how does that look? One of the things that we tend to do when we identify something that is inappropriate or something that we consider negative in another person's character, another character trait, is we tend to lecture them and we tend to preach to them and we tend to try to convince them to change. Now, that is us getting so emotionally involved and connected in what they're doing that we end up we end up allowing our emotional reactions to be regulated by them. So the very first thing to do is to just simply say, you know what? I'm going to be the best person that I can be. And I'm not going to lecture you. I'm not going to badger you. I'm not going to beat on you. I'm just going to simply model to you what a healthy relationship looks like and how you can be the best person that you can be. This right here will help her to see how constructive and how freeing it is not to allow someone else to have control of them. This will also help with what you're describing as her bad attitude. Now, I'm not 100% sure what the bad attitude looks like. Is that she's argumentative? Is that around 3 people up? I used to watch A-Team, and his name was B.A. Baracus. Well, the B.A. was supposed to be standing for bad attitude. And the way he demonstrated his bad attitude was by punching people in the face. So I don't know if that's how she demonstrates her bad attitude. Is it by fighting? Is it by cussing folk out? I don't know, but I know what you can do. And that is you can say to yourself, I am not going to allow her to control my emotional responses so that she can see how powerful it is not to allow others to control theirs. And one of the ways that I'm going to be in control of my emotional responses is by ensuring that I don't lecture her, that I don't preach to her, that I don't badger her, but rather that I just simply model to her what healthy relationships look like. I want to encourage each of you to continue to send in your questions, continue to send in for you, swg-unboxed.org, where you can find tons of other resources that will discuss even further how you can unpack the power and the potential of your relationships. Look, I look forward to seeing you again the next time. Send in your questions, your inquiries to our email address. That's info@swg-unboxed.org. And I look forward to seeing you the next time. Until then, have a great day.
Seasoned with Grace, Unboxed also provides healthy relationship training and leadership development for businesses, churches, and community organizations. For a free consultation to discuss your team's needs, please contact us at our website at swg-unboxed.org. That's swg-unboxed.org.